everybody, and welcome back to my reviews. I hope you're all doing good and you're all well and everything is going good for you. So welcome back to this review. This is a review this time of the Aliens, Black Horse and Trident comic books. This is the British edition. So it was £1.50 in the Queen's money when it was released, and it was released in February of 1991. Wow, February of 1991. Super Nintendo, just released in 1991, I think. And we had a 2G cell phone network. How cool is that, eh? So, yeah, so this was the comics that I had when I was a teenager. And I don't know what happened to them all, but I recently started acquiring them all again when I found one in a comic shop recently, and I did a review and I really enjoyed it, and the artwork, as I say, is brilliant in these comics. So these comics came straight off the back of Aliens, the film Aliens, and it was this was how I think they should have gone with Alien 3. As I've said before, you know, I actually quite liked Alien 3. A lot of people didn't like it. I've said this before, but I thought it was okay. I just thought it lacked direction, and they took away too much of Aliens and alien lore from it, and they jumped right into the future, didn't they? Which was like, and it was like they just tried to start it again, and I just don't think it worked as well. I think the storyline was okay, don't get me wrong, I thought the storyline was pretty good actually, but I just felt that it was lacking some of the direction of Alien and Aliens, of the lore of that, you know. But yeah, other than that, this was the follow from Aliens. The Predator story is good. It's the Predator Concrete Jungle story, which is amazingly similar to Predator 2, the film. Slight differences which I'll talk about in here. But other than that, it's a really good story. And then you've got the Aliens versus Predator story, which starts in this. So this is again the Aliens versus Predator story in the book. It's called Prey, I believe, and it's very similar to the AVP style story. I'll explain more of that as well. So yeah, so let's check this out. So you've got the Aliens plus Predator, and then you've got the Aliens versus Predator section, which isn't advertised on the front yet, but it's it will be in future issues. I've managed to collect up to some of the issues so far, so I'll be doing a few of these, so stay with me. So there you go, you've got the contents: Aliens episode 1, Predator episode 1, and Aliens versus Predator episode 1. So it's the covers by Dennis Bovard, edited by Martin Skidmore, designed by Jane Hubbard, promoted by Neil McKay, and it's based on characters and situations from 20th Century Fox motion pictures. Yeah, so these were the comics that were out when I was, like I say, when I was a teenager. So they were very, very, very popular. And I believe the £1.50 price of this back then was a real struggle for people to pay for. It was just considered dear back then. But yeah, now that's a drop in the ocean, isn't it? £1.50 or whatever. So Aliens, story by Mike Verheiden, and art by Dennis Bovard, I've already said. And there. So story so far: Rebecca Newt Jordan and Corporal Hicks were two of the few survivors when aliens wiped out a colony in the movie Aliens. Years later, Earth 2 has fallen to the aliens. We will tell you how all that happened sometime soon. It's an extraordinary story. In the course of it, Newt met Butler and found love for the first time in her tormented life. Then she discovered Butler's secret, something he hadn't even known himself, and that changed everything. Newt, Butler and Hicks only just managed to get off Earth in time when the aliens took over by stowing away on a cargo ship. Now it's 2 weeks later. Their original remaining problems are that they haven't the slightest idea where the ship's navigational computers are taking them, nor what cargo might have been important enough to take off the planet in an emergency. So there you go. So in this story of aliens, in the comic version, book version, Newt and Hicks survive, and this has jumped into the future when Newt's quite a bit older and Hicks is badly scarred, and Butler is a soldier that was fighting during the Battle of Earth, who found out that he was actually a android. So I think that goes back to these androids that were created to infiltrate. So we've got really good art here, guys. This is the ship escaping Earth, which is pretty cool. So there you go. You've got like a please if you're picking this up. Charlotte has been completely overrun. We're running low on food, drink, water. The bodies have been left to rot. Disease is, oh, and it's cuts off. You know, it's like the old radio stuff cuts off, you know. There's a radio message with an alien in the background, that people being killed on Earth. So yeah, Whale and Yutani have finally got a specimen back to Earth, and all hell's broke loose as expected. So yeah, the art in these guys, I say, was second to none. For some reason, and I don't know why, they changed the art in future, in the later episodes, and it wasn't. I didn't think it was as good. It was very cartoon-like rather than actually artistic, which is okay, but it's not as good as this stuff, I don't think. So there you go. So that's obviously a grown-up Newt there. And that's Butler, and that's how he's obviously found out that he's an android, because you can see he's been ripped in half at some point, and that's how he's become destroyed. Newt is having these like PTSD sort of style dreams. And Hicks is, obviously he's also suffering as well, because he doesn't want to fight. He just had enough of fighting. He's been badly burnt and scarred, but he's being forced back into it, which is a good part of the comics. They realise quickly that the cargo that is on board the ship there is it's actually xenomorphs, and yeah, they're transporting on a ship that's left Earth and is heading towards another ship, but they don't know where it's going, but it's heading towards another ship. And there's a story continues with that. And obviously the xenomorphs have broke out of the cargo hold, and they're wreaking havoc on this ship, which is cool. Good art, very good. See some good fights go on. So this is the scene where they're trying to actually destroy the alien, and they can't figure out a way to get it off the ship. So that's pretty cool. So they're doing the old airlock, usual stuff, which is great. There's some, like I say, the art detail is fantastic. And one thing they did do that was really good in these comics was the details on the weapons. There's a lot of details on the weaponry. Look at that one there, guys. The alien being blown out of the airlock. Screech of the alien. Now this is good. If you look at this, there's an airlock scene with the old spacesuit on, the old LV-426 style spacesuit, which is cool because she's going to have to go outside to clear the remaining aliens off the ship they've blown out of the hull. That's really good. These comics, like I say, were so close to the what's the word, the LV-426 James Cameron style of Alien. A little bit of Alien thrown in, Ridley Scott's Alien thrown in, because they go hand in hand, don't they, in places, those two movies. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, it's the old canter on the pulse rifle there. Just about to see it. Very good. So here's old Butler trying to shut the engines on to blow the alien out, and just burn him in the old engines. That happened in the original Alien, didn't it? When Ripley was in the chair at the end, when she's doing that whole lucky star thing, weren't it? And yeah, he climbs into the engine, doesn't he? The thrusters. She burns him out. That's how she ends up escaping in the end. The details of the ships was good in these. You know, the artwork. And there is the first time you see the character of General Spears. And he's got all his xenomorphs, all the cargo off that ship they were on. So yeah, as you can see at the very end, they always had these little next issue. Just what does Commander Spears intend to do with these aliens? Yeah, so Commander Spears is he's looking to do experimentation with those aliens, those xenomorphs. Probably explain more in further reviews. So it then moves on to the Predator part of the comic. So again, it's got good art. This story is very, very, very close to Predator 2. It's got a lot of the scenes from Predator 2 are in this comic, but they're just done in different ways, and the story is slightly altered. It's altered in a way that obviously the movie doesn't go along the same lines as the comic, because the comic goes along the lines of the police officer in New York City is Dutch's brother from Predator, the first movie, older brother. This is along the same similar lines. It's hot season, but it's in New York instead of LA, and the gangs are different. The gangs are street punks rather than feared Jamaican voodoo posse and the Colombians like they did in the movie. So that was different, but most of it's the same. There's the battle scene at the beginning, but there's obviously not the battle with the cops. It's just a battle with the Predator and the gangs up in the penthouse, and it's much the same, really. There's a subway scene which is much the same. The only differs bit is where it starts to go more into the story. So it was supposedly a mission to rescue a senator held hostage by terrorists in the jungles of Latin America. It turned out Dutch and his crack commando squad had been conned by the CIA into doing their dirty work. But in the end, that didn't matter. They dealt with the terrorists easily. Then the trouble started. America's toughest team of fighters were being picked off, apparently at will, by an invisible hunter. Soon only Dutch is left, unarmed, in a face-to-face confrontation with a monster alien hunter. Miraculously, he survives, and the alien destroys itself after suffering defeat. The people of the jungle had legends about these hunters. They appeared only when the weather was at its hottest. Schaefer, Dutch's big brother, is a homicide cop in New York trying to cope with rising tensions as the summer heats up, but the mounting gang wars will be the least of his worries, because it's the hottest New York's ever been, as hot as the jungle, and even alien hunters like a change of scene occasionally. So there you go, guys. That was how the comic storybook version opened up of Predator, 2 basically. So there's the heat. That's an arrestor at the beginning there. And it shows our main characters, which is Dutch. Well, not Dutch, sorry. It's not going to be Dutch in this. He's just calls himself Schaefer, which is the surname, I guess. And Rauschie is his partner, Rausch. So, similar sort of story. So there you go, there's the street gangs. They're meeting up in this building. They're having an argument over power sharing and having a treaty about how bad they are. So there's the main characters into Lamb and Carr. So Lamb and Carr are the leaders of the two gangs. And as you can see there, it switches up to a Predator vision. They're being watched. And one of them is targeted. And there you go, it starts taking them out. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And again, the art in these is absolutely fantastic. And there is the big blast through the wall, which you actually saw in Predator 2, didn't you, from the top of the building? But this was in Predator 2, this was before like a great big fight with the police, wasn't it? Which didn't happen in the comic books. So there's the blast from the building. They're all fighting away there. And the police have arrived. And there you go. So again, there's an officer trying to stop Schaefer, just like they tried to stop Danny Glover in the film, didn't they? Until Captain McComb arrives. So no one's allowed in the building, which was pretty cool. And then one of the gang members lands on top of the car. So there you go. So guys, when someone gets chucked off the roof, very similar, isn't it? Similar story, which is great. So that is the main character, Schaefer. Schaefer there, yeah. Schaefer and Rauchi. There they are there. Very good. They go up into the building, just like in the movie, and they're having a gunfight there. And then they find the flayed men with no killer around. So where is this mysterious killer? So once again, at the bottom there, next issue, Schaefer meets the enemy and gets beat up by it. Brilliant comics. So good effects again then, guys. Good art. All round good stuff. And then it moves on to the Aliens versus Predator section. So the race called the Aliens are the most deadly natural predators in known universe. They're incredibly vicious and virtually unstoppable. The only sure defense against them is to be on a different planet. The race called the Predators may have less fear, some natural assets, but they make up for it with their sophisticated weaponry, intelligence and hunting skills. They may be the universe's most formidable hunters. Now they're after the toughest prey of all, the aliens. It's the greatest confrontation of all time, and guess whose planet they're holding it on. So there you go. So it started off in black and white, guys, the Aliens versus Predator stuff. And it focuses mainly on the aliens collecting eggs for the hunt. And then it moves on to a colony, which is very cool. So yeah, as you can see, the eggs are being harvested. It's good art with the it was in the old black and white form, and then I say it moves on to colour in the later episodes. I don't know why they started in black and white. I'm not sure what was the purpose of that. But yeah, you don't actually see any such predators until the next one. There's a queen, and they're harvesting eggs. So for the glorious hunt that's going to happen. That moves on to a place called Prosperity Wells, which is a colony. What do the predators do for relaxation before the hunt? Next issue. How do the predators fit into all of this? Yeah, there's good little bits at the bottom there letting you know what's happening, sort of thing. And you always get the adverts for the other comics. So like all that. In the later editions of these, they did like a write-in thing where where members of the public could write in with their thoughts and they'd publish it, and it used to be on the front pages, like here and stuff like that. But yeah, the art in these guys is fantastic. So this was issue 1. I don't know if this was a first issue. I don't know anything about that, comic books or anything. I'm not that into it. But I just like these ones. I think they're so good. The art is good. and you're going to come to understand what the numbers on the head are for in later reviews. Yeah, so it's really good. And like I say, if Aliens 3 had gone along the lines of this, or even the story in Colonial Marines was good, I think it would have been a much better movie. Unfortunately, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, like I say, I thought Alien 3 was alright, a pretty good movie. It's not bad. It just could have been so much more. The actors in that were really good in Alien 3. I thought, you know, you can't fault the acting in it. We had some great people. It just was what it was, wasn't it? And the Predator 2 story, as I say, in the comics, I do like it, but I think it would have been a bit over the top as a movie. And I think Predator 2 really didn't get the credit it deserved. And I think it really was a good film, you know. And I like Danny Glover, and I think he done the role brilliantly. Of course, the late Bill Paxton, you know, bless him, he was fantastic in any role he played, weren't he? He just had a way about him that was really good. But I think he done his best work as a zany person, you know. So he done really well. I liked him in Predator 2, Bill Paxton, and obviously in Aliens he played a fantastic part, especially when he was cracking up towards the end, you know. His acting only got better and better then, didn't it? And it's good to see him again in the original Terminator, wasn't it, as in his young days. Wash day today, nothing clean, right? Do you remember that? I used to like on these comics, these like fearsome first issue and stuff like that. I used to do these little entries that really made them what they were. So yeah, these are great comics, guys. I picked this one up off eBay. I'm going to be reviewing more of these. Let me know your experience with these comics and what you think of them. You tell me, you know, if you don't like them, you know. Some people don't like this sort of thing. But I've got the books of... I've just bought the Predator Omnibus books, so I'll be reading them soon as well. That's the actual Concrete Jungle book. I think it's Cold War, and another one of the Predator stories. So yeah, I really like those. But as I said, the original Aliens comics, the art and attention to like the guns and the weaponry and stuff like that was just really good detail in these comics. Something about it. They changed it up later on, as I say, when they went into the other comics, where it just changed up to different stories sort of thing, which was good, but obviously not as, I don't think, as good as these ones. But yeah, the art, like I say, is amazing. So yeah, these are really cheap. I got these off of eBay, and I'll be looking after them now. But I'm going to be reviewing all of these because, like I say, I had these when I was younger and I didn't have them anymore. And I got into a comic shop a little while ago and I found one, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to collect these because they are brilliant. It's going to be good to have a little collection of them, and they make nice little photos as well. You can get some really good photos out of these comics. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think, as I say, what you think of these comics. Like and subscribe, guys, because it is hard to do these videos sometimes and get them up and edit them and stuff like that. And it's hard to do it for just a few people. But yeah, I'm going to carry on going. And if you do like these comics, let me know, as I say. And thank you for tuning in. And I will see you on the next one.